All right, well, welcome back, and thank you, Tess, for your test talk again this week. We are really excited to have our board president on with us. Well, board president among many other titles, also the chair of the Governor's Task Force on Child Abuse and Neglect, and also detective at the Ingham County Sheriff's Office. And I'm probably missing 12 other titles, but Annie, welcome to Big Conversations with Small Talk.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Cool. Well, great. So as we do with all of our guests, we'll start out with our, I don't know, what's it called? The Wonder Wheel? It's not Wonder Wheel.
We can call it that. I like that name. Let's
right,
just go with that.
Okay.
All right, Annie. So
Wheel
I
of
will.
Wonder sounds better.
Okay. I will pull up your icebreaker wheel, and we'll see what question you get.
Perfect.
Okay. What is a TV show? I don't even know if you have time to watch TV, Annie, but what's a TV show that you might be currently watching?
That's what I was just thinking, as I was so excited and knowing I'd be able to answer anything, and that is probably one of the ones that would be hard for me to answer. I am not currently watching a TV show. Let's see. But I would answer that by saying I've been thinking about, some of my favorite shows lately. And let's see, I've been thinking about rewatching some of them. I really do like Game of Thrones a lot. And I think I like that because for a lot of reasons, but also because it explores the complexities of both the good and the bad. And so that's been a topic that's been at the forefront of my mind lately, is just thinking about how things can be so good and so bad at the same time, and how can you write that in your brain. And I also really like the fact that that show requires your undivided, constant attention. And so I've been thinking that I need something like that in my life to really focus me. And so I like the question, because I think I do need to get into a TV show to keep my life in balance right now too. I think that's part of the fun of TV shows.
Nice. Wow, that was such a great icebreaker answer, Annie. I love it. But thank you. I hope that you can fit in an episode here or there in your busy schedule. So our first question for you today is just, can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in Small Talk?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I love that question. And I'm so excited to be on the show because I am a fan of your show. That's how I should have answered it, is watching your show. So I am a detective at Ingham County Sheriff's Office, and I investigate cases of child abuse and sexual assault. And one of the core beliefs that I have is that any time that a child needs our help, I want a child to have access to services no matter where they live. And, at the time that I got involved in Small Talk, my view was about anywhere in the county, they should have the same access to services. And now, that I have the honor of being the chair of the Governor's Task Force, I also believe, anywhere across the entire state, they should have the access. And so for me personally, as a professional, if I rewind to when I got involved in Small Talk, I wanted to be part of a group of peers and colleagues that were all in it for the same reasons for kids, and all challenged ourselves to be the best that we could. And during one specific team meeting or case review, our founder, Lisa McCormick at the time, looked at all of us in the eyes and said, well, what are you going to do to better improve children's experiences in our county? And so that moment was one that struck so close to me that it was my responsibility, both as a police officer, a detective, but also as a community member and a parent, to be part of providing quality service to every child within our county. And so that was my reason when I realized that it's every one of our responsibilities. And I was happy to step up and join in the goals and mission of Small Talk and making this a reality for everyone.
That's great. I remember that meeting too. And that was, it was a really powerful one for sure, because we had so many, really important people at the table who helped, create what Small Talk is today, or at least kind of lay the foundation for what it has become. And to think that was, I don't want to date ourselves, but 7, 8 years ago now, and to see how far we've come, I think is really remarkable. So kind of speaking about that, do you have a favorite moment or, there's probably many, I think we all have many favorite moments, but do you have one that maybe sticks out for you as really impactful that you've experienced since being involved with Small Talk?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right that there are so many moments that it would be really hard to pick just one. I think that, of course, the moments of, triumph and healing and resiliency that I am able to, have the honor to witness with children are for sure the most personal or impactful and profound and meaningful. I think some of the things that have surprised me is I joined this movement as a professional, that this is what I've committed my career to. When I have opened my eyes to the community outpouring of support, that has probably been hugely surprising and part of my growth, to be able to learn about the amazing other charities in our community and how much citizens and parents and community members like myself want to be involved in helping children. I think that part. I think as far as a specific moment, again, there's been so many, but I remember one that really resonates with me and I think is funny too. So I'll share this one. I had a forensic interview one day of a child, and I had stayed a little bit late at Small Talk in the team room with my laptop, and I was typing my report, and it was the end of the day. And there was some counseling sessions going on. And I don't typically have the opportunity. I think I observe Small Talk through my experience, as a detective and as the board president, but I don't necessarily always experience it through others. And so this was an opportunity where as I'm quietly typing my work, I think, people weren't necessarily aware of me, and things were continuing to go on as they would at Small Talk. So I heard, these families arrive and come and children come, and it was so nice for me to be able to listen to children be greeted by their therapists, and just the feeling and stuff. It was a whole new experience for me, and I really, really liked it. And what ended up happening at the end was it was 2 children, siblings, and they were both being seen individually by their therapist. And at the end of it, they both said goodbye. And I could hear them talking in the lobby, and the one child saying to the other child, "Don't forget to put your shoes on." And so they're putting their shoes on, and then they said goodbye, and then they turned the lights out and they left. And I was sitting in the conference room typing my police report, and it was pitch black because I was in an interior room, and I was laughing. The kid, I could hear the laughter in the hall as they were leaving, and I just started laughing. And what it struck to me was they had taken their shoes off to come in because it felt like home, and they had said goodbye and they shut the lights on because this place was theirs, and so it really it's emotional to me to talk about it now, but that's why we do this.
That's a great answer. I love that.
That brings up the next question, which we've talked about a lot. It was the point of this show, and we've also talked a lot about it internally through Small Talk, and we want to know what your why is for what you do, and as a detective and with your role at Small Talk.
Yeah, I love that question. Thank you. That's really important to me, and I found it to be really important as we all cope with what's going on in our world today, to be really clear on what our why is, because a lot of other things are changing around us. So I would answer it 2 ways. I mean, first off, for me, my why is about service and about community and about leaving our community better than how we found it. That's my personal why. That doesn't change from my profession to my personal life and kind of about who I am. Like, I hope that, that goes over to raising kids and to having a family and to your own life's work, is just hoping that we make an impact that's positive in the world and leaving our community better than what we found it. And so for sure, my work at Small Talk plays a role in that, And then I think the other part is that we're all part of a team. And so we need to know our collective why, our organizational why, about why it is that Small Talk does what Small Talk does. And so that part isn't about our personal agendas, but about the why of the agency. And so I'm clear on that why too, which is that why is for children. That why is so that we can better serve children in our community and that we can be leaders across the state and country about how to do that best. And that no matter what obstacle is facing us, we know that we're here for kids. And so right now, how that might look is this new show that you've put on, so that we can help families with the struggles that they're facing in their home. How else that might look is doing therapy over the web-based format or video conferencing, and interviews over the video conferencing, because we know that we need to help children that need us now. We can't wait. And so that's our why. And so we keep evolving with our how and our what.
That's great. I mean, and, again, I think that just speaks to the leadership that you brought to our organization. We certainly appreciate it. So our last question is the one that we ask all of our guests. I don't know if it's our favorite question. It's maybe my favorite question. I won't want to speak for everybody, but, there's, I think, especially when, COVID first started, to become a big deal for us, there was a lot of talk about heroes and, a lot of these unsung heroes that, the people that work at the grocery store or at restaurants to make sure that we have food on our tables, and the doctors and nurses and all the hospital staff that are helping to keep us safe. So I think there's been a lot of talk just about heroes in general. And I think that, kind of dating back to when we first started Small Talk, I think that was sort of our rallying cry for a long time too, was, to be a hero and to do heroic things. So, to kind of take it back to that and then take it a step further. What does being a hero mean to you, especially, now in the times that we live in?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you for asking. I think what's most important about that is, to me, it is about service to others. And so I think that people who have been heroes for me are people who have stood up for me when I couldn't otherwise do it for myself, or didn't want to do it myself, or needed somebody else to do it. And so that is what's important, is that we all need heroes in our own lives, and then we can be a hero for somebody else. And I think anybody can be that hero. I just feel it's so relevant right now with the challenges that our world is facing, is that we can't do it alone, and that there are times that, I feel there's social isolation right now, right? And so there's times that I feel I really need to lean on somebody else in my life to help me pull through this. And so that I hope is something that survives through this, is us knowing that we need to rely on each other. And so that's part of the essence of a hero to me, is being that for somebody when they need it, and then letting others be a hero for you too when you need it. And kids can be heroes, and adults can be heroes, and everyone from every walk of life. I mean, really, a friend is a hero.
Great. That's a wonderful message for us to leave off on. So thank you again, Annie, for taking the time to speak with us. We'll probably be on a call with you in another 10 minutes. I know I will. So thanks again for your time and for your leadership, and, being a part of Small Talk for all these years. We wouldn't be where we are without you. So thank you very much.
Thanks to you guys. Thanks for doing all these extraordinary things and extraordinary times. You're getting us through it. So thank you.
Thanks.